Hello, everybody. So this session is our continued session of F5 LTM series. So this session is about the load balancing, like what is load balancing and how many types of load balancing. Like we can see like how many methods in load balancing in F5 LTM. So in this session, we'll cover round robin. Okay. And in the upcoming session, we'll cover one by one. Okay. So what is load balancing, guys? So load balancing is a method of distributing the workload to the available resources. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of load balancing? What is the benefit of F5? Okay. So let me come here. Okay. Then it will be good. Okay. So guys, load balancings is a feature on F5. It is going to distribute the traffic, to the backend server to provide the availability of the application server, like 24 by 7, performance of the server, performance of the applications. Okay, so this is the beauty. This is the actual work of load balancing, and this is the reason why we use load balancing. Okay, let's consider the example. Let's consider the example. Okay, for example, there is 210 requests. There is 210 requests coming to the F5, and by default method, load balancing method on F5 is the round robin. Okay, so F5 is going to be let's consider this server. Backend server has handling capacity of 100 requests. Okay, this server has also 100. This server has also the capability, we can select capacity of only 100 requests. Okay. If 210 requests come into the F5, it is going to be distribute 70 to this server, 70 to this server, 70 to this server. Okay. So it is more than we can say like more than 50%. So still utilization of server is not 100%. Like server 1, server 2, server 3. So if the utilization not 100%, it is maybe below 70%, 60%. So our server performance will be good. Application performance will be good. Okay, right? So this is the beauty. This is the work of load balancing, and this is how F5 do the work. Every load balancer do the load balancing things, and F5 is doing as securely also. Okay, this is one use case. Okay, let's consider another example. Then we can understand like why A5 is the market leader and why load balancing method is important. Let's take one more example. Okay. Let's consider we have total 309 requests coming to the F5. Okay. And this server handling capacity is maybe 100. Let's consider 100. This server capacity is 200. This server request capacity is 300. And if you're using here round robin method, so F5 is going to be distribute, kinds of equal request. Let's consider 100 request here, 100 here, 100 here. If 100 requests come into this server, it is, we can say like less than 50%, right? So there is no issue for this server. Also, it is 50% for this server. Also, it is good. But what about this server? If 100 requests is coming and 100 requests sending to the backend server, server utilization will be high. So application performance will be also low, right? And if you're sending more than 100 traffic, 100 requests, other request is going to drop it, right? So here we can't use round robin. Here we can use another load balancing method, like a static or maybe list connections. So these types of granular control we can take with the help of load balancing method. Okay. And which types of load balancing we need to use, guys? It totally depends upon the team who manage that application server. Okay. They generally decide, they generally tell to us like we need to configure this load balancing method, and accordingly we can implement on our FIPL team. Okay. So This is like this is the meaning, this is the actual work of load balancing. Okay, so I hope you guys understand what is load balancing in F5 and why it is play a vital role, why it is important. Okay, one more things I want to tell. uh, let me erase this. So let's consider we are not using maybe any load balancing method, we are not using F5. Just consider if 210 requests coming and this server has capacity, let's consider 210. See, if this this request going to this server, maybe 210 request, you can consider guys what will be the percentage, what will be the utilization of this server. Maybe 100%, maybe this server will be degraded, maybe it will be, we can say, like a crash kinds of things. So to keep our application server stable, to keep our application availability 24 by 7, performance, keep our application performance quite good in the production in the company, we use load balancing. We use load balancer guys to load balance, distribute the traffic among the backend server as per their capability like CPU, RAM, memory. And these things generally, these requirements come from the application owner who manage that application, who deployed the application on the backend server. Accordingly, we can configure these things on our F5 LTM, F5 load balancer. So these types of granular control we can keep, guys. Okay. In LTM, there are two types of method. Uh, Two type means I can say like there are some load balancing methods in F5 LTM. We have like static. So in this session, in a static, we'll see round robin, and then upcoming session, then we'll see ratio, and then we'll see all the things one by one. So in static methods, we have round robin and ratio. Guys, these types of questions also asked in the interview. So please try to be concentrate on here, okay? In dynamic methods, we have list connections, fastest, observed, predictive, dynamic ratio, list sessions, weighted list connection node member. We'll see one by one, don't worry about, okay? Then we have failure mechanism. We can use the priority group activation. Then we have the fallback host also. And this question generally asks very, very important, guys. It's very, 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 very important. This question generally asked in the interview. It's very, very important. Okay. So what is round robin, guys? So round robin load balancing is the default load balancing method in F5. Each new connection is sent to the next pool member in the pool in a strict circular round robin fashions. So I have just mentioned if 210 requests coming to the F5, 70 requests will go to this server, 70 to this server, 70 to this server, so that our server utilization will be good. And load balancing method it totally depends upon the backend application, backend server and the team who manage that application. They generally come to us and tell about the load balancing methods. So in case of round robin, if 210 request is coming, for example, it is going to be distribute 70, 70, 70 to all the backend server as per this topology. Okay. So the round robin load balancing method works best when all the pool members are roughly equal in processing and memory capacity, and the application request use the server's resource equally. So guys, as for F5, it is recommended, it is suggested to use a round robin method when your backend server, each backend server had the equal capability, equal capacity, we can say, like related to CPU, RAM, and memory. Okay. So that each server can handle equal connections. There should be no any issue related to the, uh, you know, utilization, related to the resources like CPU, memory, RAM. So round robin is recommended to use if the backend server has the equal capability. Okay. So that it can handle the request accordingly, because in case of round robin it is going to distribute equal traffic to the backend server. Okay. So this is about round robin load balancing method in A5, and this is the type of, this is the method of load balancing, guys. Okay. So how we can implement here, we have our VIP guys, and inside VIP we have already called resources, we have already called this pool. And if we come here pool, on pool level, so we have in pool inside we have the member like server 1, server 2, server 3. As per our topology, there are 3 nodes: server 1, server 2, server 3. Okay. So if you go on the statistics, and at the moment there is no any connection, zero zero connection, that is fine. So generally we use our load balancing on the pool level, guys. Load balancing method on the pool level. So here we have already configures load balancing method is round robin. So there are so many methods here. We'll see one by one. Don't worry about it. So round robin is a type of a static load balancing method, and second is ratio. We'll see on our next session. So we have already configured round robin. Just click on update, and then uh, we need to come on the pool, and then we can come to statistics, and then we'll see the connection once we'll insert the traffic. One more thing, guys, in lab environment, maybe you can see some misbehavior kinds of thing because we have only one PC here. But in company, guys, there are multiple source, there are multiple people accessing our application from different sources. So in that scenario, maybe you can see the actual behavior. Okay. But in this case, for example, we have only one PC from outside trying to access our virtual server. Virtual server is working on the behalf of actual backend application server, right? So maybe this PC is if request coming from this PC to the F5. Maybe single TCP connection has 2 3 requests can be sent to the backend server, right? Because this request is coming from single PC, right? But in case of company, guys, request coming from multiple place, multiple we can say like region. Uh, Maybe from someone accessing from America, someone accessing from Europe, someone accessing from China, someone accessing from India, multiple people, multiple place. Okay. So here we can see some misbehavior kinds of thing, but that is fine. Okay. Let me log into the PC so that we can initiate some traffic. Okay. So these types of things we can see, guys, because these are the kinds of not the licensed PC. Um, so we can see these types of behaviors in the lab thing. But that is fine, no problems. It is fine. It is enough for testing purpose. So I don't think it will take much time. So one more thing, guys. Till this PC is starting. If you're watching this session first time, I will suggest to watch the series like one by one so that we can understand the flow, concept, and accordingly, I will suggest to make your lab and practice in your lab. Okay. If you want resources, comments me, and I will try to share it. Like if you want image and some other stuffs, I can share with you guys. Don't worry about it. Okay. So let me try to access HTTP. Okay. So now we are able to access our VIP. Okay. So this request is handling by server 3. Then if we refresh it, then it's server 2, then server 3, server 1. So it's kind of round robin. So our load balancing method is working perfectly. If you come here and if you're going to be just model statistics, pool, and local traffic, then we need to see on the pool levels. So see the connection, guys. Total we have 7 connections. Server and one handling 3, and then 2 and 2. Okay. So we can see some like for example, in case of server 1, we have 3, total 3. That is fine because maybe same TCP connection has two requests sent to the backend server. So that is expected. Okay. For examples, you are accessing same things, and for example, client is accessing something from the backend server. And during that TCP connections, he requested some another things also. So two requests can be sent to the backend server. That is expected. Okay. So this is about the round robin method in F5LTM. In upcoming session, we'll try to see all the method like load balancing method one by one. I hope, guys, this video is informative for everybody. If you like my efforts, please share, like, subscribe. as much as possible because this series is completely free. We don't need to pay anything. And I'm going to cover from beginner to advanced level, including troubleshooting and CLI commands. Okay. Thanks everybody. Let's meet on the next session. Thanks for watching.